Now today I'm going to leave off where I first left off on my video. Where I left off last time was that basically the Tiger sunk, that the ship that was bringing like 600 to 300 people along ended up bringing only 100 colonists. So that's not good. So today I'm going to be telling you the rest of the story today. You're just wondering, what's going to happen to the colony? Are they going to be attacked? Or what the heck is going to happen? Well, I'm going to tell you. It is not a good outcome. You see, by the spring of 1586, the Secretarian and colony weren't really good friends anymore, partly because of the matter of fact of the English's needy needs. So whenever a very powerful advocate for the colony that was established on Roanoke died, it basically turned Wingina, which you should all probably know by now, against the English by this point. And by this point, he was named Hemisapan, or the one who watches. Now, that should probably not really ring any bells. I honestly know that it probably shouldn't. So Pem, who is really Wingina, yeah, I'm going to either say his name is Wingina or Pem. But Pem, basically, in the March of 1586, was like, okay, the English. So, at this very particular spot, okay, Ralph Lane, there are about 3,000 Native Americans coming to your area right now. And then he basically went to the leader of the Allies that were picking up at the area and said, okay, so you really have a bad spot on your hand. The English are coming to round you up and get you and attack you. And it is no surprise that because Lane's army was really well equipped, the Allies were actually caught off guard, surprised, attacked, beaten, taken down. So the Secretarians were very short-lived. The main person on April 20th of 1586 in Zorre, whenever he died, Wingina basically lost the inner support that he had left. So whenever One Cheese rose up to senior advisor, the English basically convinced One Cheese that they were a threat and then they should immediately move away, at least go to a different place. And that's what they did. They basically left everything behind. They left their fishing rods, they left all their utensils just so the English would go and get them. So after the English basically told Wingina that the English were a threat and told them to evacuate, Lane sent his men on a journey so that way they could go and beg and forage for food on the Outer Banks. Meanwhile, Lane was keeping Skiko still hostage. To follow in Skiko's father's footsteps, Skiko tried to maintain a good relationship with the English. So what he did was that he told Lane about the mutinous plans that Hemisapan or Wingina was going to go and attack the English. So the English are right now listening to this. So on June 10th, Hemisapan was able to persuade other tribes using the copper that he got from trading with the colonies. So now at least he had something. Now with all these tribes in hand that Hemisapan or Wingina has put in order to persuade them, in order to join him for battle against the British, Wingina's plan was to basically attack Lane and key others while they were sleeping, and then there were going to be signals for what to do with the other people in this area, as in sleeping in the colony, as well as Lane and other key leaders in this investigation, in this thing. So to combat this intrusion by Wingina to go and fight the English, Lane went and he basically did this. We are sending troops over to your island, so don't think of something too silly. Lane was hoping that this could end up forcing Wingina's hand, but it didn't. So sadly, on May 31st of 1586, Wingina gathered as many allies to go to a meeting to discuss what would happen next. And what would happen next would be barbaric. I hope that you're sticking around to watch this. On May 31st, 1856, Lane went and attacked warriors stationed at the front of Roanoke Island in hopes of preventing the mainland from being alerted. So that way, at least he was thinking that this would prevent that. But it didn't. June 1st, 1586, Lane and his top officers with 25 men went to the meeting house to discuss, or pretense on how to free Skiko. Once Lane, his top officers, and the 25 men were admitted into the council, Lane gave orders to attack. Hemisapan or Wingina was shot, and he fled into the forest. But Lane's men quickly caught up to him. They cut off his head, and eventually they stuck it out on the front of the fort's colony. Yes, a grisly way to meet your end. Just because you tried to backfire and you almost tried to kill them.